You are listening to the best of the Classic Metal Show podcast. Catch the Classic Metal Show every Saturday from 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. Eastern Time over at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. The following podcast is sponsored by the Pennsylvania Coin-Operated Gaming Hall of Fame and Museum, located in Hopewell Township, Pennsylvania. Over 400 video games and pinball machines there for you to play. It's all vintage. It's all good. So come on out and play it over at the Pennsylvania Coin-Operated Gaming Hall of Fame and Museum, located in Pennsylvania. For more information on the Gaming Hall of Fame, go to www.coinophof.com. And now let's get to it on another edition of the best of the Classic Metal Show.
All right. A French teacher in Pondicherry told me about the time she was holding her German boyfriend's hand when a group of men started making vulgar gestures.
Okay. Now, these are Indian men?
These are, it says she was holding her German boyfriend's hand.
Okay.
When a group of men started making vulgar gestures. So these are, she's an Indian girl.
Okay.
And she's walking with her German boyfriend.
And the Indian men
are making vulgar gestures at her.
Okay.
One of them grabbed my other hand and held it very tightly for a few seconds and ran away.
Oops.
I was so angry that I shrieked and we ran after them. At first, he laughed. Then seeing that I was not going to go, he apologized. Another time, a group of men sneered as they passed by the young couple, mumbling, I can't even say this, these are Indian words that basically translate to, "What do we lack that you choose this white guy?"
Penis size.
My friend Neha Belfakar.
Miha Belfucker?
Yeah, it's Belvalkar. Belvaker.
Yeah, Belfucker. I got her.
First visit to India after 2 years in a film school in the U.S. was appalling, in her words.
Right.
Chris, her boyfriend, that's
me.
you.
It's me.
Had accompanied her. White guy.
Okay.
One day when walking on the street in Pune, Neha's hometown, a biker slowed down near the couple and almost hit her.
Now, when you say biker in India, that means pedals,
Yeah,
right?
pedals, right.
Okay.
Somebody riding a bicycle.
Right.
She asked him to watch where he was going. She said she sensed a mix of repressed fury and lust in the man's tone when he hissed back at her, "I will fuck you."
Wow.
Too many Indians, the idea of a mixed race couple is alien, repulsive even.
Wow.
My friend Arya's French-American husband has been asked more than once in India where and how he picked up the woman he was with.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're an Indian woman with a man outside of your race, you're a slut. You've been picked up like you're a prostitute, you know?
Sure.
Her experience in those 2 years in Mumbai before the couple moved to Los Angeles forever clouded the way Arya thought of the city in which she had grown up. Being with my own husband would make me uncomfortable because men would pass lewd comments with even more A-L-A-C-R-I-T-Y. A-L-A-C-R-I-T-Y. Alacrity? Alacrity.
I hate when writers use words that they know nobody knows.
Right. Then when I was alone, said Arya, at times she ignored the comments, but when she did try to fight back, some men found the aggression titillating.
Right.
Kaya Fatuka Haya, which means, what a firecracker she is.
Oh, brother. Sounds like these guys are living in the 40s.
They are. Well, they are a third world country.
The things they say.
Yeah, exactly.
Good Lord. It's like he's saying, settle down, toots.
Exactly. At play here is the stereotype that men from the West are interested in women mainly for sexual gratification.
That's any guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, that's everywhere you go.
Yeah, that's every guy looking at a chick.
Yeah.
Always.
By extension, the Indian women they are with must be promiscuous.
Yeah, well, that's attractive too to every guy, everywhere.
Right. Then there is the patriarchy, the women who venture out to the out of the nest to seek a mate must lack decency.
Okay.
And there's the drive towards conformity, the ugly head that raises itself at the sight of anything that dares to deviate from the norm.
Okay. The hell?
Look at that. Oh, that nice hairy Indian girl.
But you know what? Listening to this, it just sounds like this Indian chick. To me, it sounds like these Indian dudes are pretty much the same as the rest of us.
Pretty much.
They just want some pussy.
Yeah. Or they don't, again, it's kind of the same. I think it's the same reaction that a lot of white guys get when they see a white girl with a black guy.
Yeah.
Same thing.
But, I mean, honestly, though, anytime you see any woman anywhere, I don't care where it is, and I don't care who the woman is, your first instinctive reaction is that split second, hot or not. True or not?
True.
Everywhere. That's the clerk at the fucking gas station. That's a TV chick. That's wherever. The chick in your office. That's every single chick.
Well, I think the point the story is making, though, is that women who venture outside of the Indian culture and date a white guy or something, or any other race that, for that matter, is considered either promiscuous, or lower class.
I would say that it's the same way, though, with any race, with any mixed race dating anywhere.
That's my point.
Yeah, it's the same.
When you're a white guy, as I said, and you see a white girl with a black guy, for some people, that's just like revolting.
They don't call it jungle fever because it's normal.
Right.
They call it jungle fever because it was perceived as not normal.
Exactly.
That's why it got a term. That's the same with any, and people won't want to admit it because, God forbid, you admit something that's fucking true and not fucking politically correct. But anytime you see anything that looks odd, whether it's a fucking Indian chick with a white dude or a fucking basketball player, LeBron James with a fucking 4-foot white chick or something. What's the boxer? Klitschko? And he's dating that little short girl that was on Heroes.
Right.
He's like 6'5", she's like 4'10".
Yeah, isn't she the one who was in the American Dog videos?
No.
She's dating some, like,
she's not dating Klitschko.
No, but she's like dating some like Marine or something like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I brought that story to the table like a month or two ago that
she's dating a Marine.
Well, she's like dating like somebody who's like a ultimate fighter or something.
Oh,
like
nice.
That. Yeah.
No, this is not the same one, but it's the same thing. Anytime you see anything that's not, quote unquote normal, you notice it.
Exactly.
What's the problem?
Well, the problem is that they aggressively act out toward these women.
Well, where's these guys to punch them in the fucking face?
Well, that's what the one girl was saying, is that the one guy did, come up to her and grab her hand like he was trying to pull her away from him.
Yeah.
And then they were chasing that guy down, and then she just decided, I'm not going to be a part of this. And
right. I get it.
It's just, so basically what they're saying is that instead of just minding your own business about it, they verbalize or make their displeasure of their situation known.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I get it. Because, and that all goes back to their dumb culture of fucking bullying their way into everything.
Sure.
I get it.
At play here is the stereotype that men from the West are interested in women mainly for sexual gratification. So basically the idea here is these men are only interested in these Indian women just to fuck them.
Okay, that's probably true.
Well, it goes back to that whole Vietnam thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had the LBFMs. The
LBFMs.
Yeah, the little brown fucking machines. That's what they called them.
I was not familiar with
that's what that's what they called the little Vietnamese women, as they just referred to them as little LBFMs.
LBFMs.
Little brown fucking machines.
Wow.
Yeah. So they were just basically throwaway,
right?
Throwaway women, and that's how these Indian guys are perceiving their women who are doing anything outside of the culture, is that the only reason these guys have any interest in you is they just want to use you and bang you and then toss you to the side.
Yeah. Well.
So whatever you have with them couldn't possibly be genuine or real.
Versus these fucking arranged marriages, which are not genuine and real.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing genuine and real about that. That's as false as it gets.
Let's see. Women who venture outside of the nest to seek a mate must lack decency. So it's just like, well, if you're not staying within the culture and blah blah blah, you're a whore.
You're a whore because you take the white cock.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there's the drive towards conformity, the ugly head that raises itself at the sight of anything that dares to deviate from the norm. Milan's resident Divya Kapai was visiting, boy, I can't pronounce half these words, Jadahabari Palace in Angra with her Romanian husband when her tour guide made a comment that angered her. While talking about Akbar's many wives of different faiths, he cited our marriage as an example, said Divya. Mm-hmm. I found it out of place since he was talking about Akbar having a good time with many women. So basically he's saying, well, your marriage is a sham. This guy is just fucking you. When he's done with you, he'll just like toss you aside like you're just a used condom.
Right.
That's what they're more or less intimating here.
Right. Exactly. So what? That's what we do too. Even with the chicks in our own race.
Yeah.
We fuck them and half the time we throw them aside.
Right. That's
the way it works.
Yeah. Mixed race couples often have a deal with the skepticism about their relationship masquerading as concern about cultural differences. When Araya decided to tie the knot with Nicholas in 2010, she got lectured about the sanctity of marriage and how it should be preserved.
Oh, brother.
Such attitudes toward mixed race couples are just another expression of the intolerance that won't countenance Hindu women marrying Muslim men. And a mixed race couple in which one person is black often brings out the worst kind of racism.
Yeah, well, gotta say that happens here too.
Exactly. When I decided to marry a Frenchman, my family's concern was the normal one that parents have about whether their children have made the right decision. My partner's nationality played only a minor role. So when a neighbor took it upon herself to tell my mother that I was being an irresponsible daughter by marrying outside my caste and moving abroad, it upset me at many levels.
Oh, boo-hoo.
So again, they're so advanced and elevated that what are you doing marrying this peasant?
Yeah, shut up.
I wondered whether she would have felt as much concern over my being so far away from my mother had I married an Indian.
Okay.
On whether a policeman from the Mumbai police station would have muttered under his breath when Arya went for a no objection certificate required for her American visa, What else would you expect from the daughter of divorced parents?
Oh, my God.
Or whether Sadus, that's Sadhus, at Puskar would have rebuked Divya for being a bad Hindu, marrying a white man and not making him convert to Hinduism.
What the fuck is the date of this article? 1970 what?
Well, that's how they live over there, though.
Jesus.
But
This sounds like the 70s.
Yeah, but this goes back to that discussion we were having earlier. Would you give up your LA Guns CDs for this chick, you know? Well, before you marry me, you got to convert to Hinduism.
Yeah, how about eat a bag of Hindu dicks?
That's the stipulation of this marriage, pal.
Yeah, no, not going to do that. That's why nobody in their fucking race wants to marry him.
Yeah.
I fucking play all these dumb games.
Right. Or whether Ketki would have been asked to leave the building she was living in Nashik because other residents didn't want their children to be exposed to a modern unmarried mixed couple. Of
course not.
As some might put it.
Keep my kids away from your muddy marriage.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
In a country where jingoism as it is at its peak and love is being politically exploited, such comments are no surprise. If romantic love is not confined to the community, which is as narrow as a person's worldview, it becomes, in their minds of some, a serious threat to their social order.
Wow. Do they have homosexuality over there?
I would imagine they do.
I mean, do they have gay marriage?
I don't think so.
I would love to know how they get away with that. If they can't even fucking date or marry outside of the Indian culture, what do these people think about dude fucking another dude?
Really?
They got to be fucking horrified by that.
Sure.
Wow.
To the neighbor who tisk at my life choices, I would like to extend my tender invitation to a home-cooked Indo-French meal.
I don't even know what to say to that. That just sounds like, again, it sounds like something from 1978.
Well, it is. But that's the culture over there that, it's a very closed culture. And over here, if anybody, and there are people here that express their, preference for somebody who's of the same religion or the same race or the same this. And if you're outside of that, you're betraying your upbringing or whatever the case may be, and you're ostracized.
Is that still prevalent now? I mean, is there a lot of that now? Or
it's not so much as it used to be, because I think the politically correctness of our society has kind of beat that down, but that doesn't mean it's not underlying in people's thoughts.
Do you think people still think that? I mean, I get it. They look at a white chick with a black dude and are like, oh, Jesus. I get that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't. I cannot imagine that people are really looking and saying, well, how can you marry her? She's a fucking Baptist.
Well, but see, that actually happened in my family.
Really?
Yeah, my nephew married a Catholic girl.
Okay.
And, we were brought up Protestant.
Okay.
And she's Catholic, and, they've been married for 12, 13, 14 years, have had a couple kids, doing fine. But the wedding was held in a Catholic church.
Okay.
And that was just like, dude, you're not Catholic. What are you doing this for?
Did people not go?
No, I don't think anybody boycotted the wedding because of it, but it's it's just like, this isn't your faith or your belief, or this isn't how you were raised.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you doing this? And it's just like, yeah, I'm just going with the flow. This is what she wants. I'm not gonna sully this. We're in love. This is what we want to do.
Right.
And nobody gave him a hard time about it, but it was a point of discussion.
I would never, ever think of that.
Well, but for people who are steeped in their belief or their religion or whatever the case may be, that is an issue.
No, I guess. I just can't believe that still goes on. Like we're fucking, 1958.
Well,
it just seems so foreign to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because I've traveled, around the world and
sure,
seen a bunch of different shit or whatever. But I don't know, man. That just seems very foreign to me. It just, but that's weird that you actually have that in your family. Wow.
Yeah, but our family was Protestant, Baptist, blah blah blah, and then
right.
He married a Catholic girl, and they got married in a traditional Catholic ceremony, and it's all this bowing down. And the thing is that, and I'm not going to get into whole philosophical discussion about the differences in the religious beliefs, but as I'm sure you're well aware, being that your theology,
major,
that in the Catholic Church that they pray to Mary,
right? Mm-hmm.
And Mary, if you believe that way, Mary was more or less immortal.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a spirit or a deity or anything. It's just like, why are you praying to a mortal?
Right.
And that's the difference, rather than praying to a deity or whatever the case may be. Or why do you have to pray to Mary to take your prayers to Jesus?
Because she had the golden snapper.
But my thing is the differences between the religion, to make it simplified. It's, well, why don't you just pray to Jesus? Why do you got to pray to Mary to pray to Jesus? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Why don't you just eliminate the middle woman?
Right.
So that's the difference, and then they have the idols in the church, the figurines, and they sit, they kneel at them, and they pray before them and things. And, that if you believe the Bible the way that's written, it's just like you shouldn't pray to false idols.
Right.
So that's like ideology where you're praying to an idol, it's a statue.
Right.
So why are you bowing down before the statue,
Right.
That's the whole idea there. So that doesn't set well with people who don't believe that way. And it's just like, what are you doing?
Right.
That's not how you were brought up. Why are you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
It's not sincere. You don't believe that way. Why are you doing that? Well, I'm just going along with the program.
What?
Exactly. So that doesn't set well with people.
Right. Too crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's crazy. It's wacky, but that's just how it is.
Yep.
But personal Indian tale here.
All right, let's hear a personal Indian tale.
There was something in that story that reminded me of. I'm trying to go back here. Trying to think here. What the hell was I going to bring to the table? I had a story in mind because something reminded me of that. I gotta go back and look through the story here real quick because something just reminded me of a personal Indian tale here.
Of Magoo, or?
Yeah, exactly.
Magoo? You met Magoo's, was Magoo's wife the one that bitched about the printing?
Exactly.
Who's printing?
Exactly.
That fucking still is funny.
It is. It's hysterical.
Who's printing?
Like, who's printing? Who's printing?
Shut up, bitch.
I'm trying to, I'm just scanning the story real quick because something piqued my memory for something to tell you, and now for some reason it escaped me here.
What the hell?
I know.
Moogle Master took it away from you with all his fucking craziness.
Right. Just trying to find it real quick. Damn it.
Fucking Indian tales suck now, man.
Yeah, we keep getting interrupted.
I know.
Damn it.
Fucking Moogle Master and Tim James, cocksuckers ruined it.
Well, I will tell you a story.
All right.
My former boss,
yeah,
they received a lot of stuff from India all the time. They had
that.
Yeah. They had, relationships, people that they knew over in India, and they were receiving a shipment of various parts and things from their India office.
Okay.
So my boss was telling Explain Me guy,
okay,
that he needed to be looking out for this crate. because it had a framed picture in the freight. It was being sent over. It was a frame. He didn't know what he was looking for. He just told him it was a framed picture is what it was.
Okay.
And so this shipment came in on a container, one of those shipping containers.
Mm-hmm.
And all these skids of boxes and things came in. And so he told my boss, hey, the shipment is here and we got it all out on the dock. What are you looking for? What is this picture thing that you're looking for?
Right.
And so he went out there on the dock and he's like digging through the boxes looking for this thing.
Okay.
And he finds this box and it's listed on there, and he opens up the box and he pulls out this wrapped. It was a framed photo. It wasn't a photo. It was a I don't know, a collage, I guess you would call it.
All right.
And it was all wrapped up, and he took it in his office. Okay. And he unwrapped it. And basically what it was now, from our discussions that these Indians have this god. It looks like an elephant, right?
Right, sure.
Well, basically what it was this, I'm just going to call it a picture for lack of a better term, but it was basically a framed picture of that elephant god that was made out of colored tiles. Okay. It was like colored tiles. The tiles were probably like a 1/4 inch by a 1/4 inch.
Oh my God.
And it was all glued onto this thing, and it made this picture of this elephant god. Okay.
All right.
And then it was framed in this really, really rustic wood. I mean, it was really like weathered rustic wood.
All right.
It was kind of like splintery type wood. You know what I'm talking about? Like barn wood.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And he unwrapped this thing, and like I said, it was a colored tile picture.
Okay.
Of this Indian god framed in this really rustic wood.
Okay.
And so he pulled it out and he's got it out on his desk and he's looking at it, right? And I said, "What is that?" And he said, "Well, that's our Indian, that's our Hindu god, whatever it is, the Indian name for it. I can't tell you what the name is right off the top of my head."
Right.
And I said, "What's up with that frame?" I said, "Is that the authentic wood made out of the cross that you hung Jesus on?"
What did he say to that?
He just lost it.
That's fucking hysterical.
So, I mean, he was just he was just speechless. He goes, you just need to go. You need to go.
You funny jockey, you.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And I told that story about him calling me a radio jockey. Did I ever tell you that story?
You've mentioned it.
Yeah. Well, we had a office administrator gal.
Right. By the way, did I post the right picture in there of the elephant?
Where is it?
It's in the chat room.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
The hell is that?
Yeah.
Please don't look at Moogle Master. Please don't offer my god a peanut. Very funny.
Yep. But yeah, that is the god. Just think of that picture there, but it's made out of all these little colored tile squares.
That's hilarious.
It's all different colors, and it makes that picture basically, and that was framed in that real rustic wood.
Right.
So anyway, so she was trying to, make small talk, make conversation with him. And, she was more or less just trying to schmooze up to him and try to get on his good side,
Right.
And she was just like, well, I was watching like National Geographic or something like that the other night. And they were doing a documentary on India.
Right.
And I was really fascinated that all these wild animals are basically running wild in the streets because, these literally wild animals run wild in the streets over there, you know. And he said, he says, and what city were they, you know, covering? And she says, they were covering Mumbai, which used to be, after the British left, or they changed it 10 years ago. It was, what was it? Not Burma.
New Delhi or something?
No, it could have been something like that.
Right.
And she says, oh, it was Mumbai. And he goes, well, that Mumbai is like our biggest city in India. It's like New York City.
Okay.
And I said, yeah, it's like New York City if it was made of dirt. And he just lost it. And she goes, how do you let him get away with that? And he goes, oh, he can get away with that. He's an Indian. He's a radio jockey. He's a radio jockey. So that's where the whole radio jockey thing came from.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
He's a radio jockey. Dude, did you ever watch, there was a show on like 2 years ago for 1 year called Outsourced?
Yes, I did see that.
That show, that played like all these stereotypes up to a T, but I just thought it was bullshit because before I didn't know that this was really going on.
Yeah.
It's too fun. I got to watch that show again just because now it'll probably be hysterical.
It'll make sense to you.
Yeah, it'll be even more hysterical.
Right.
How they're just fucking with people like
exactly.